Ready to maximize your reach? Call your regional radio account manager today and put your business in front of eyes and ears across Central Illinois. Regional radio is where your message gets noticed.
Hey there, loyal listeners. This is your team at Regional Radio with a quick heads up. Some of the great programming you enjoy throughout the day is pre-recorded, but don't worry. We're still bringing you the same local content you love. Our legal team insisted we mention this, and hey, keeping the attorneys happy keeps us on the air. So thanks for tuning in and being part of the Regional Radio family. We're proud to bring local, compelling content to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
WTIM. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. It is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and the landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, in for Grayson Bauman this morning. You know, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on at Central A&M schools, and here to talk about that and much more is my next guest who joins me in studio. It is Sasha Young, the superintendent of Central A&M schools. Sasha, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, let's get right into it.
Okay.
So, you were telling me earlier the sophomore class actually got to get some hands-on STEM, technology sort of experience at the Heartland Tech Academy.
Sure.
Talk a little about that.
Yes. So we work closely with the Heartland Tech Academy, which is housed at Richland Community College in Decatur. And every year they have an open house for sophomores. This year, every single one of our sophomores attended, which was kind of exciting. Usually it's a smaller group. It kind of gives them the opportunity to look at some of those Heartland Tech Academy or dual credit options that we offer as a part of our agreement with Heartland Tech for juniors and seniors. As you know, career in tech is kind of becoming a big deal, and we want all of our students who graduate from Central A&M to have a path post-graduation. So exposing them to some of the CTE programs that Heartland Tech has, as well as dual credit options, sets them up for career and college, depending on which route they want to go. So it was exciting to see such a great participation rate this year.
Yeah, and I've seen some of those setups, not at Heartland, but at a lot of other places. And it is fascinating stuff. And you mentioned dual credit. That has been the talk of the town at a lot of school districts. So how long has that dual credit setup been going on?
It's been going on for a while at Central A&M. I don't know the exact length of time. This is my third year, and we've offered it every year since I've been there. So some of those classes are on Richland campus, some are online, and we do have a Richland professor that comes to Central A&M for one class.
Oh, that is a nice connection. Then you don't have to make the long drive north to the Decatur area. So, now that's been going on for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Have there been students who have gotten like a decent amount of dual credit on their way to whatever college?
Sure. Yeah. So potentially some of our students walk into the junior college or the university with a few classes under their belt as high school seniors, and then they do not have to take those at the college or university level. It saves them money, paying for that after graduation versus working with us as a dual credit. And it also gives them kind of a step up. So if they need a semester where they have to take things a little slower because their workload is heavier, they have that option and they won't fall behind.
Yeah, no, it's been great to hear from you, from other superintendents and local school leaders about students being able to take advantage of that and get those extra classes. In some cases, even get a degree.
It's
true. Have the whole degree.
Yes. Potentially.
Yeah.
I've not yet seen that, but I do know what happens. And it's kind of exciting for them, walk away with a high school diploma as well as an associate's. That would be amazing, right? Saving money and, jumping ahead.
And it gives them the exposure to the real step up as well.
Absolutely.
Is that higher education. So it's awesome to hear about. I always love it when folks talk about that and all that going on.
Sure.
So we've got the sophomore class getting that sort of exposure. Some students took part in a speech competition as well from your schools. Talk about that.
Yes. Every year we have middle school students who participate in a speech competition. And every year they do really well. So we had some students who participated from our middle school. We had a solo who unfortunately couldn't make it to the competition. He fell ill right before the competition, but we had a trio that came back with a Division I rating and a time of 7:34, which is really good. So at our next board meeting in December, all of the students who participated in the speech competition will come and do their speech and their literary for the school board. So it's always nice to bring the students in and have them perform the thing that they did so well at the competition.
That is awesome. Bringing it back to the community. So you mentioned time of 7:34. I didn't really do speech in high school, but did plenty of other things. So what's that like? Like, do they recite a certain speech, or do you have to write it? What's it?
Yeah. Like? So the solo artist that was going to go to speech was doing a short story poem by Ken Bradbury. And the trio also did a presentation by Ken Bradbury. So they're not responsible for creating their own speech or their own material per se. They do recite something that's kind of already set, and they practice it, and they work on their acting skills as well as their speech communication skills.
So acting, so it's sort of like bringing, essentially taking up the character, you mean?
It is. Okay. It is. And the majority of the way they show the character is through their tone and their pace and all the things that you can do with just your voice. They're not typically acting out the material, but it's really amazing to watch them play these roles without touching anything. Or, it's all in the way they hold their voice and the way they present the character by body language. So it's really cool to watch.
No, it sounds fascinating. It'd be fascinating even if you just heard it in the radio setting or something like that. So that is awesome. Congratulations to all of them, and I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing that.
Yes, every year they do such a great job.
Yeah. And hearing that at the school board meeting as well. So let's see. So we've got tech, we've got speech. Oh, we've also got some success in the area of music with some high school and middle school students.
We do.
Talk about that.
So our music teacher, choir director, Jacob Elam, every year he allows students from the middle school and the high school to try out to be a part of the District 5 Music Festival that's held at EIU. This year we had 18 students across the middle school and the high school try out for this opportunity. And Mr. Elam will be taking 9 of them. So half of our students qualified to be a part of this music festival. It's housed at EIU. Students from all over our kind of area division will be put together in one large group setting to sing and perform as a group. So they practice all day. They work on, sounding, doing their parts and sounding as a whole choral unit. And then they get to perform.
That is awesome. Group. So 18 students, 9 of them qualify. So what's the spread, if you are aware, in terms of like instruments or singing, or what's that like?
So this is all for music, for choral only.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yep. I do not know if there's an instrumental side. I've not yet been able to see that performance, but I'm excited to go. It's coming up. So
it's coming up. Yeah. Do you have a date for that?
I believe it's this coming weekend or the following. Well, it wouldn't be the following weekend. That's Thanksgiving. I believe it's coming up this month. So I had the date, but not off the top of my head.
Yeah. So the next weekend is Thanksgiving. That's the last weekend of November, the last few days.
I would say it's probably going to be this weekend. So.
Yeah. No, we'll check up on that as well. So we've got Heartland speech and music, a lot of exciting stuff. Anything else you want to add in terms of some of the extracurricular or academic enrichment students are getting?
Sure. So recently, our middle school girls basketball team had a daytime basketball game against our Okaw Valley girls basketball team, and it basically was a Friday celebration type of game. Our students were bused to Okaw Valley Junior High, and the basketball game was held where the full student body was in attendance. So Mr. Forlines of Okaw Valley and Mrs. Black, our middle school principal, coordinated this super fun afternoon where we could build school spirit. We could cheer on our respective girls basketball teams. And they played trivia at halftime and did like free throw shots for cash prizes. And so it was just kind of a fun event to work with Okaw Valley on. As you know, we've co-opted for high school football with Okaw Valley. So we also saw it as an opportunity to kind of start building some relationships,
That sounds like fun, right?
Yeah.
You got the basketball itself, and then you mentioned like trivia and halftime.
Yes, it was so cool.
So were the players doing the trivia?
The principal would call out students from the audience to do the trivia, and the trivia was for prizes.
Okay.
And they did so well. It was academic trivia. It was just pop culture trivia, all things trivia.
Well, I'm sure they would know plenty about the pop culture side of it as well as Sasha Young here, or Sasha Young. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Sasha Young. Okay, I almost got that wrong.
That's okay.
The superintendent of Central A&M Schools, talking about some of the exciting stuff going on there. Let's take a break, and then we'll talk about some other big topics over at your schools here as part of the WTIM morning show on your information station.
Your information station. WTIM.
Now the trees are changing as the weather gets cooler. If you're dreading the leaf raking and snow shoveling that comes with this time of year, Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth is your answer if you're 55 and better. Relax and enjoy the changing seasons without all the yard maintenance worries. Plus, it's half the cost of most independent living options. No stairs, no worries. Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth. Independent living done right. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Ryan Barnhart here, the voice of the Fighting Illini, inviting Illini Nation to listen for Fighting Illini sports this season on New Country 104.1. From every kickoff during football season to the closing horn of every basketball game, you'll hear them in Christian County and surrounding area on your home for Fighting Illini sports, New Country 104.1. Follow the orange and blue and go Illini.
Brought to you by Bob Ridings and Secret Lee's Insurance Services, both in Pana, and Adam Jeffrey with Craig's Realtors in Taylorville.
The holiday season will be here before you know it, and holiday entertaining that comes with it. Hi, Darren Seaton here, manager at Taylorville Home Stores. Yes, it may be a long time away, but believe me, it'll be here sooner than you think. Now's the time to stop by and pick out your new kitchen, flooring, or bathroom you're wanting installed in time for having the family in for the holiday season. Don't wait. Get on the install list now before it fills up. Taylorville Home Source is your local design center. East Park Street, Taylorville.
Hey, Troy, my furnace is making some weird noises.
Like what?
When it kicks on, it sounds like...
Huh?
And then it goes...
Come on.
And it ends like this.
Well, those are sounds we hear this time of year, but I don't think they're coming from your furnace.
If you hear your furnace huffing and puffing and raising a ruckus trying to keep up with the colder climate,
call Jansen's Heating and Air.
We'll dispatch a batch of highly trained heat hunters to your homestead to conduct a meticulous, methodical, and masterful inspection of your heating and air.
Then, if needed, we can professionally and confidently recommend repair or replacement with a new energy-efficient system.
It may lower your energy bills, and that's good, because this is the time of year...
Don't say it.
...to save some bucks.
I knew you were going to say that.
Call Jansen's Heating and Air, 562-5201, jansensheating.com.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Winter's coming fast. Don't face it alone. Get on the waiting list now at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, 705 South Houston. As winter weather hits, make the call and don't fall. Click their icon today at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kama, and I continue my conversation with Sasha Young, superintendent at Central A&M Schools. We've been talking about some fun stuff going on at the schools involving tech programs, speech, music events, and fun girls basketball event that was going on with Central A&M and Okaw Valley, two schools that co-op in the sport of football. I want to get into some other topics. You've had a project going on at the Moweaqua campus for some time, actually, involving refurbishing some of the doors.
Yes.
Talk about where you folks are at with that.
Yes. So we started beginning the planning of switching out all of our exterior doors at Moweaqua campus over a year ago. Our architect started the project when he came on and joined our team at Central A&M, and we went to bid in the spring. We finally get to start that project. As you know, anything in construction takes time. And so I believe today is day one of beginning that replacement. So we saw the opportunity to replace the doors at Moweaqua campus and have them all more secure and to make our facility more secure. Some of the doors were original to the build in the 70s, and they've just held up really well, but it was time. So not only will we have a more safe and secure campus, but we'll also have an upgrade, like our facelift, if you will. So we're excited about that. We're excited to get that started. It feels like we've been waiting a long time for it. So it'll be interesting to see in the end. Yeah.
So you mentioned the exterior doors. Are
Yes.
there also interior
So
doors?
interior doors in the building have been upgraded over time
Okay.
already. There's not really a need to upgrade any of those. It's really just the exterior doors. And if you know our Moweaqua campus, a lot of them are full glass doors. And over time with use, they start to get less secure. You know, the hinges warp or whatever. And we've done an amazing job at keeping them safe and maintaining them over the past, several decades. But it's time to just get some new doors. And we were able to apply for a school maintenance grant with the State Board of Ed. And we received that school maintenance grant, and it's a matching grant. So they give us $50,000 towards the project as long as we spend $50,000 or more. And our project is well over that match. So we're excited. We're excited for more safety, more security, new doors, and the facelift.
Yeah, and as the times
Yeah.
change, you kind of get a sense of what you need from the doors in terms of what they're able to provide. Although I'm certainly no door expert. How many doors, if you happen to be aware, are we talking?
I think we're talking 13 different entry points. So some of those are single doors, double doors, and then we have 2 that are kind of main entrances where we have 4 doors, involved. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, lots of doors.
Yeah, a lot of doors. So then you got to replace each of them.
Mhm.
And, I'm sure you kind of want all of them to, or at least, the doors at each certain entrance, right? You want them to look a little bit similar or at least go together.
So we kind of planned the main entrances to kind of have the same look where they're a glass door and we have our Raider vinyl, over the exterior of the door. But a lot of the back doors or the side single doors, we have changed from a full glass to mostly an aluminum door with just a glass window in it instead of being the full glass window for safety measures and just for, keeping the building warm or keeping the building cool. So
those doors serve a lot of purposes. So you're making it work with this new project here. So that's the doors. Now the Illinois State, or I don't know if it was the State Board of Education or someone gave school report cards, and you folks got a commendable rating. Talk about that. Some of the key points.
Yes. So in October every year, at the end of October, the Illinois school report card comes out for every school in the state of Illinois, and we have 4 schools technically, even though we just have 3 campuses. We have 4 schools, and Bond, Gregory, and our middle school and our high school, I apologize, all were given commendable ratings. They were all given commendable last year as well. This year, our middle school has a targeted rating, which means we have a subgroup of students who need extra support. So per the Illinois State Board of Ed, they grant us some extra money and funding to buy resources or to pay for professional development to help with that subgroup of students, as well as the whole population of students at the middle school, to help build up their skills and better prepare them for some of the state testing that comes every spring. We have had a targeted designation before, my first year at Central A&M Gregory Intermediate, and we've worked out of that designation, and I'm confident that the middle school will as well. So, yeah.
Nice. So you're working through that. So outside of the targeted designation, we have a little under 2 minutes left. Any particular strengths or weaknesses that the state highlighted?
Yes. So some of the things that we are excited about and celebrating, our chronic absenteeism has gone down over the last 3 years. We saw some really good scores in science. 3 of our 4 schools were proficient accurately along with the state average. So that's exciting. Some areas for growth might be our middle school math scores. And we've been working on those. This is year 2 of working on the middle school math. We've talked about restructuring how we do math at the middle school, what our math offerings are, potentially the order that we teach math so that the students are more prepared for the state testing. Some things, it comes in March and April, and some things are taught after the testing that are reviewed on the testing. So that all matters too. But yeah, we look forward to those scores every year and knowing what our targets are.
Yeah, it's hard to know kind of where to go without knowing where you are. And you mentioned absenteeism going down.
Yes.
You know, obviously hard to learn when you're not there. So I would imagine that's a really encouraging thing, as that's been a big issue really throughout the state. Well, that has been Sasha Young, the superintendent of Central A&M Schools, who's been in here today to talk about a lot of exciting stuff, and also, of course, the state report card and those good old doors that they've been replacing.
We're so excited.
Sasha, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having
and
me.
Thank you for listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. We should have another conversation coming up in just a little bit.
WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. First the House, then the Senate passed the bill directing the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein